discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we even set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we even set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money,
you could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So
basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station.
Yeah, my name is Jasnity Kaldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
So it's in the rice price?
The rice price, something to do, they're going to start doing it, somebody. They're not talking to why they're going to tell why nothing. And you come out, people every week, okay.
Good night and welcome to Straight Up. Black Bush poll there. All across Guyana, you know, the PPP regime, they have neglected the country. All they're concerned about is their pocket. Rich and rich and rich and rich and rich and rich and enrich themselves. That is what they do. They're not concerned about the indigenous people. They're not concerned about Guyanese in general. They're just not even concerned about their own supporters. But now it's an elections year. They're going to pretend. They're going to go, they're going to hug babies. They're going to hug some pregnant women, pretend as though they care. They're going to give out little crumbs to school parents, school kids, and their parents, call it school cash grants, and because we scared, and all manner of things. Oh, care or scared, because they're scaring people. No government should be running a country on cash grants and handouts and pittances. You provide the necessity, and you give people that opportunity, young people, just like what happened under the coalition. There were buses. I remember my time years ago. Sorry, sometimes it's a bit hurtful to say. I remember my time. Oh, flashbacks, right? On the quarantine, there were, it's even more flashbacks. How many of you guys know Tata buses? Those Tata buses. Little kids, school kids like myself. We had our little short pants and we stand in front of the house or the bus stop, and the bus is gonna stop. The bus. And we jump on the bus because that was when Guyana was one people, one nation, one destiny. And then it ceased from being one people, one nation, according to the corrupt PPP regime. In 2015, from 2015, when the coalition took office, to 2020, when they were kicked out of office. And I say kicked out because there was a regime change. The coalition didn't lose the election. So y'all don't worry with what Jack Dale or if you spell it with A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever Jack Dale, it doesn't matter what I always say she instead of he. And I always have to stop to make sure that I come back and say, regardless of what he says, it doesn't make any sense. Here's why it doesn't make any sense. The elections, the 2020 elections were rigged in order to put the PPP in office. That's all. So there was no the free and fair elections until the polling stations were closed. The coalition won the elections by about 3, maybe, or 4 seats. That's not just my personal opinion. If you check in terms of what came out after the recount. If we were to go, and one of the reasons the recount, was to prove that the coalition won the elections. The coalition won the elections, but, they had an agreement that they are going to go along with wherever the chips fall. And as those vagabonds in the international community who had a vested interest in overthrowing the coalition government and, read between the lines, big money, billions of dollars. And so they started they reneged on their agreement with regards to the recount. The recount process proved that the coalition won the elections with all of the valid votes. Turn to your neighbors and say, valid votes. Talk to your neighbor. You guys could tell what kind of church I went to right after Jehovah's Witness Church and so forth. You turn to your neighbor, you say, valid votes. With all of the valid votes, the coalition won the elections. Right, Dre Watley and all of you, Yvette DeAndre, all of you, the coalition won the elections. Do not allow the corrupt PPP regime to brainwash all you into believing that they won the elections. I noticed there was a Facebook commentator saying, I can't recall who the individual is, but the name will come, that the coalition, the PPP is who did more rigging. It wasn't about more rigging. The PPP rigged at the end. That is what it was about. They had fake statements of poll, all these things they had. Fake. And so you guys do not run away with this idea that the coalition lost the elections. The coalitions didn't lose the elections. They didn't lose the elections. They were overthrown. That is what happened. They were removed from office by every means necessary. When Lowenfield, the then chief elections officer, presented the results to the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, it was according to the laws. valid votes, valid votes. But those in the international community like Mike Pompeo and those other vagabonds, they weren't interested in valid votes. They were just interested in ensuring that the PPP got back into office so they can make frequent visits and benefit. That is what it's all about. It wasn't about democracy. No, it wasn't about that. It was about removing the coalition. And so they created this scene. And look, I'm going to say this as I said to a couple of people today, right? I don't want the Mohammeds of all persons, not the Mohammeds. Please, please. Oh, man. Yeah. Please. Sorry about that. To talk about GRA. You know, GRA and who ain't pay taxes. Billions of dollars. The people who are close to the PPP cheated the system of billions of dollars. Some of them suddenly feel they care about poor people and come on, give me a break. But back to the Mohammeds them. If the Mohammeds them are concerned, if they are concerned about seeing the backs of the corrupt PPP regime, then they will stop the BSing about paying GRA tax. And it's girlish thing. So Jagdeo and Irfan, they scratch the Mohammeds like this, and the Mohammeds them scratch back. It's scratch for scratch, but it's soft scratch. We ain't seeing no hard punches. If the Mohammeds, if they are serious about seeing the backs of the corrupt PPP regime, then they will tell us about hardcore stuff. We want is like you walk in a bar and you ask a Pepsi. Sorry about that. And you ask for a Pepsi compared to one of them strong drinks, right? That's what the Mohammeds and the PPP doing. The PPP scratch them, and they scratch back the PPP, scratch back the PPP, and get people talking. Some people talking all day about scratch. Let them talk about the corruption in the elections. That's what I want them to talk about. Let them talk about criminalities. And let them expose the PPP regime in that area. Let them talk about the phantom squads and the killings and all these things. That is what I want to hear. You know, I hear no stupidness, man, but who ain't pay taxes? And all them years the PPP been condoning that. All of the big-time so-called business people evading taxes, whether it's gold smuggling. You think the PPP know? The PPP know about all of that. But they just want to waste people's time. Waste people time with dotishness and who in Lamborghini and you time with that stupidest them, man. Or Lamborghini and this guinea and that guinea. Okay. Sorry. I just thought I'd get that out of the way, right? But I was talking about back in my day in terms of buses and the PPP didn't care about nobody. I grew up in the Tata bus era. Well, just when Tata buses were just fading away. And I recall at New Amsterdam's telling, oh gosh, that was like a little New York, right? That was when plantain chips was plantain chips. And that was when Polari was Polari. And that was when cheese roll had cheese in it, right? And my gosh, man, why I got to talk about small this time? And those buses and how beautiful it was then. One people, one nation, one destiny. Right now, it's just one big corrupt Guyana under the corrupt PPP regime. That's what's happening, guys. And so the buses were free. I wish we could have buses in Guyana that could take, like the coalition did, take the kids to school for free. Free transportation for school kids. The return of public transportation. Now is the time for that because you have billions and billions of dollars. And who is enjoying it? Not the people. You telling me a $200 cash grant to people and they must jump up on a mountaintop and kiss Priya Manik Chan? The more it looks as though the more you kiss her, she's losing weight. You know, and I'm not here to shame anybody. But just the other day, Priya was like this. How suddenly, what? I'm not here to do that. I should not be doing that. And I'm not going to be doing that. So, operator, I withdraw that statement. Right? But let's continue though. They're giving out cash grants. How the heck you going to run a country with cash grants? Cash grants. Every month, it is the biggest corrupt scheme in the country right now. Cash grant. And then when they're done with that, just watch out what's the next move. They went to Parliament for billions of dollars more. Even though we've got the biggest budget, 1 point something trillion, 1.3, I think, trillion dollars. I think Wayne Caesar is in the audience. I saw him earlier. He crawled in and then he can crawl back out to listen. Wayne, $1.3 trillion, is that what it is? And then they go back to Parliament, crawling in Parliament for how much more? Come on, you accountants there, Wayne Caesar and other. They crawl back in begging for billions of dollars more after the thief and 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 the thief. And then they go right back in for more. I don't know. I don't know, guys. If it is not, if the evidence is not clear that the PPP has got to go, they have to go. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no, but then there's a but. Sorry, Jack, dear, not that, sort of, a B-U-T, but then there is a but. We'll get to that B-U-T some other time. Okay, guys. Some of you are naughty out there. I can tell that some of you are watching this on your big screen television with your families and so forth. So I've got to be cautious with people. I know you watch it with your family, so I can't be that naughty, right? Okay, so let's move on now. What else do you want to talk about? I want to talk about this here. Moving from the one people, one nation, one destiny, which is what we know. And someone in Guyana, a lawyer, or not even a lawyer, because they have a lot of non-lawyers, close to be lawyers, are doing a lot more than lawyers, some lawyers, right? And so I say this, sorry, you should really see my naughty look, but some other time you guys will see my naughty facial expression. So let's get back to this one people, one nation, one destiny. Take a look at what's happening in Guyana. How the heck are you going to have a corrupt regime, a corrupt government like the PPP regime, and they want to change every single thing? Our constitution, I believe, speaks of one people, one nation, one destiny. The coat of arms. You guys know the coat of arms, right? Of Guyana, it has one people, one nation, one destiny. And now these vagabonds in the PPP decided that they want one Guyana, but not, and look at the one Guyana they want now. One little piece Guyana. It tells me that these vagabonds in the PPP regime are actually Venezuelans in disguise. Jack Diao is a Venezuelan. Irfan Ali is a hustler. What is happening? What exactly is happening? Look at this. Look at this one Guyana. And then these vagabonds in the PPP regime, they want to talk about, oh, people must get together and who is criticizing the all manner of crap. Look at this. Take a look at this. One Guyana. They said it's some $1,000 store on the East Coast. Y'all pass the $1,000 store in a flash. Pass that $1,000 store in a flash. This is what is happening in Guyana. Brainless vagabonds, right? Brainless vagabonds of the PPP regime. They don't know what they're up to. Take a look at this. A little piece Guyana, they put as one Guyana. Since when Guyana is one Guyana? I don't know what's happening. Even the folks out in Turkey, they know better. Good night to the folks out there. They know better. Guyana used to be one people, one nation. Look at what it is now. That is why I'm saying that a lawyer in Guyana or a private citizen could take the corrupt PPP regime to court and sue them because this is treasonous. This is not, there's no such thing as one Guyana. In the Guyanese passport, in this, you get one Guyana. There's no such thing as one Guyana unless it went to Parliament. That is where laws and these things are passed. Laws are not passed by a corrupt president and his minions. Laws are part, that is why they're supposed to have 3 branches of government. 3 branches of government. But under the PPP, you get Coconut Branch, you get Guinea Branch, and you get Tamron Branch. That is how they treat the country. Those are the 3 branches they know about. Coconut Branch, Tamron Branch, and Guinea Branch. That's it. They're not sensible enough to know that the 3 branches are the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. Those are the 3 branches. And the legislative, which is basically Parliament gets to decide what the laws of the land ought to be. The judiciary gets to interpret the laws. And the executive, you guys know what, but apparently Irfan Ali and them, they do not know the 3 branches. When you ask them, if you walk and you ask Irfan Ali right now, what are the 3 branches? He's going to think you talk them 3 branches, the outside man. They get Guinea, they get Tamron, and them 3 branches. They don't know 3, by the way. 3, as my daughter would say, Dad, it's 3, not 3. So he thinks you're talking about 3 branches, Guinea, Tamron, or Tamron, and whatever, coconut tree. And they have no respect for the Constitution. And if a government has no respect for the Constitution, turn to your neighbors and say, they wouldn't have respect for the citizens of the country. They will trample. If they trample on the Constitution, it's like trampling on your rights, the citizens of the country rights. That is what is happening in Guyana. None whatsoever. And so those lagu-bagus in the PPP regime are classless. They do not know what is happening. And so this here, at this time when Maduro is fighting up about Guyana and Essequibo and so forth, these lagu-bagus, these katahars, these Kordhis, I will say Couture too, but these Kordhis in the PPP regime, look at what they're doing. Will some lawyer in the opposition take these people to court? Some lawyer, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're a sheep lawyer, whether you're a selfie lawyer or whatever. Take these vagabonds to court. Challenge them in court and let the court know that you have taken the executive, and to stop the executive from using this one Guyana logo because it is unconstitutional and it is treasonous. That's all I would say. I don't know. Let me check some of your comments out there. Somebody said boycott. B-U-I-C-U-T. Boycott. Yeah, you buy and you cut. You cut. Boycott. Good night to all of you. I know you know better than that, Mary Beard, so don't take me on. Someone needs to take them to court, actually. And quickly. Somebody's asking, Sadie said, Policia. Yeah, Policia, because Jack Day, look, let me show you guys this. Do not be fooled. Y'all think that just like that, Maduro is going to say that they're going to have an elections in Essequibo to elect a governor. It has never happened. It never happened under the PNC, and surely under the coalition of the PNC, APNU, AFC. It never happened. But why do you suppose it's happening under the PPP? Every single time there's always some mess under the PPP, the corrupt PPP regime. And now let me say this to you guys. Come a little closer. Let y'all uncle, sorry, Melissa Atwell says she's y'all auntie, but let y'all uncle talk to y'all, right? Look, Y'all get a pen and paper. Here goes. Let me say this to you guys. This whole Venezuela stuff is a scam. It is a scam. It is to divert attention. Big businesses, powerful businesses are playing games with the people, mind games with the people. That is what it is all about, to stir up problems, fighting for oil in Venezuela, oil in Guyana, and all manner of things that is happening. And so the PPP is aware of this game. And they feel that if they play this game, that they're going to get billions and billions of dollars. Do you really think that madman Maduro is going to go into Venezuela, into Essequibo to vote? Do you really think that? And let me show you guys how it's a game. The Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana is still there. If I had my way, that ambassador would have been expelled, because it is treasonous for Maduro to want to send his people in Essequibo to vote. That ambassador, Venezuela ambassador to Guyana, would have been sent packing. Immediately packing. Get me? And recall that man that is in Venezuela as Guyana's ambassador. Let me see if you guys know what's his name. Recall Van West Charles. Recall him. Story done. This is not time for skin teeth. This is not time to go out in Essequibo for some goddamn concert. Concert? In Essequibo? Concert? Something is wrong with these pacus in the PPP regime, you know. Concert? You're going there to sing and dance? No, man. Something isn't adding up, guys. Something isn't adding up. And while all of that is happening, guess who going into Guyana? Apart from the concert, because, you know, this is what they're going to Essequibo and do. So while Venezuela is preparing, well, we don't know it's a big bluff, right? But even let's say they're preparing to attack Essequibo, attack beautiful Essequibo that belongs to Guyana, that's in Guyana. While they're doing that, this is the weapon that the corrupt PPP regime intends to use against Venezuela. Let's go again. Just grab a mic. If you're next to a mic, whatever, turn to your neighbor and go like this. You know, who are these guys fooling, man? Who are these guys in the PPP regime fooling? And so they get there, it's a money-making thing, right? And so while Venezuela is preparing to, as they claim, guess who is going to Guyana? Guess big bubble session going on. Guess who is going to Guyana? Look, it's there right here. Y'all see for yourself. Guess who? Spice Guyana. Una get ready for the king and the King Vibes Cartel and the Queen of Dancehall this Saturday at the National Stadium. And then after the National Stadium, them are go to the UK, because the UK On Monday, they get City Splash. So they go into Guyana on the 24th. Venezuela said they're going and elect a governor in Essequibo just around the same time. And they get big show, Vibes Cartel. And when Vibes Cartel go Guyana, guess what? He go hug up him friend, Irfan. Suddenly them a friend and Doc Corey and all. Well, you can't blame Vibes Cartel. He's a businessman. He making money now, right? But if I had my way again, this show would have been canceled. Story done. But the reason why they do not want to cancel the show is because Irfan Ali should say whether they have given the promoters of this show, of this event, close to 100 million. 100 million of taxpayers' money. Now, it's a question I'm asking, mind you, right? Because it's not any easy money, no easy money to get Vibes Cartel to be there now because his price gone up. Spice, it's not easy money. It's not just cash grant money to get them, no. And so they are using these artists to brainwash people. People are fighting up for justice, crying out for justice for Adriana Young and others. Meanwhile, guess what? Guess what? They bring in Vibes Cartel. And whilst they're bringing Vibes Cartel and Spice in a Guyana, Maduro bringing his band members too to carry out karaoke in Essequibo. Could you see how corrupt and backward and stupid those people are at Freedom House and at Office of the President? Anyways, let's go, man. Sing along. Let's go. So while they're doing that, Irfan Ali and those other vagabonds will be in, guess where? They are going to be out in Essequibo. They'll be at the show. They're dancing. They're doing all sorts of things. And then when most Guyanese telling them, let them go and fight, they get vexed. They get vexed because they're all part of this Venezuela conspiracy. So while they want you guys and the soldiers to go at the border and fight, guess what they are doing? Sporting. Come on, Irfan. And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're up to. Sport. That's how he was done. That's how he's going to be dancing in Essequibo. And then at the Vibes Cartel show, because hundreds of people, probably thousands of people, are not going to go. But this is what Irfan Ali is preparing, rehearsing to do at Vibes Cartel's show.
Are we going to do a bowling man walk right now? You ready? Box, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk. Body walk, truck, body walk, there with the body. Listen, body jump, there with the body jump.
Anyways, and they're talking about people and coming together. And no, it's no coming together. It's dotishness. You know, they got some folks. Like they sleep all day. And then when they sleep all day, I don't know, man. Let me stop. They see you all day, they don't respond, they don't tell you nothing. As soon as you start your program, so they like, I don't know, and it's men too, you know. You could understand if it's female men. Holy smoke, man. Anyway, sorry about that. I don't need to be distracted, but that's what's happening. This is what is happening. And the PPP at Freedom House, they are currently preparing, I don't know, all manner of confusion at Freedom House right now. Lemon, can we get that tape at Freedom House, please? Let's go live to Freedom House right now. All right, guys, that's what's happening in the country. No wonder why things are the way they are. And hopefully the folks in the opposition, I don't know. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. What else can we talk about tonight? What else do you guys want to talk about tonight? Oh. Someone sent this photograph to me earlier. Yeah, someone sent this photograph to me earlier. But let me just say, some folks are complaining that they can't get the program. They can't, I don't know. But I'm sorry, guys, those who can get the program. So listen to this, please. All of you are crying out, and rightly so, for justice for Adriana Young. Justice, the parents of Adriana Young are crying out for justice. But this man who sits there as the president of the country, quote unquote, the president of the country, standing facing the world's largest wooden building, St. George's Cathedral, with his child in his hand. Fair enough. Nothing is wrong with that. But at the end of the day, why isn't this guy showing any interest at all to ensure that the family who are seeking justice, Adriana Young's family, mother, father, they can't stand and hug their little beautiful daughter any longer because she's dead. She's gone. Somebody killed her. But this guy that is standing there is preventing the family from getting any sort of justice. All sorts of things to stymie the process. And not only Adriana Young, the two youngsters in Linden, they want justice too. Their family want justice too. Quindon Bacchus, his father, Colin Bacchus, I believe, is crying out for justice as well. The Henry boys, their family want justice as well. All of these people want justice. That is what they want. But you have a Pacu sitting there as president. Mind you, why get skinny though? From fat, I don't know how come all these people just from taking over the whole screen to this now? What's going on in Guyana, guys? What's really going on in Guyana? I don't know. This guy two of the security guys used to have to walk around with his belly. Now, man walking on his own. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. And so everybody wants justice for their little ones. They can't hug their little ones any longer. So if Irfan Ali cares about people, well, we doubt that, or cares about justice for these people, then he will do better. He will invite the FBI. He will invite either Scotland Yard or whomever. He's not going to invite one little man, one little retired uh, detective that is connected to some Guyanese friend, probably Ezekiel Dalpuri and Roti in Canada, to go and be part of a serious investigation. Come on, man. Come on. But back to whatever they're using to look so skinny, I don't know. Just the other day, this was Priya. Y'all see Priya size now? Make joke with taxpayers' money. Make joke with taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money doing wonders these days, boy. Wonders, taxpayers' money. Without taxpayers' money, I don't know how some of them would survive. MP, them a minister, and all kind of thing. Without taxpayers' money, I don't know how they will survive. They probably have to get a GoFundMe. They like laugh people with GoFundMe. You know, like laugh people with GoFundMe. Right, Idris? With the money. GoFundMe? These Pakus, yeah? All right. So that's Priya Manikchand there when she was at a crime scene out in Madhya. No sort of investigations. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Safari's pride. Let's keep it clean, please. Let's keep it clean. Thank you. So 1 year ago, is it? This is not 1 year. This is the anniversary already. The anniversary of these little ones. So let's take 30 seconds of silence. 30 seconds. Yep. Thank you, guys. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. Nothing. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rhonda Lane. Thank you, Annette Cummings. Thank you. Thank you. 2 years. And no justice. Guess why? Because the PPP is not interested in justice. No matter what, no matter who, they are not interested in justice at all. All of them. Loretta Williams, Mary DeAndre, Martha DeAndre, Andrea Roberts, Sabrina John, Bibi Jeffrey, Adonja Jerome, Nicolene Robinson, Belinza Evans, Yolanda Carter, Cleoma Simon, Omifa Edwin, Trissel Thomas, Lisa Roberts, Ariana Edwards, Lorraine Evans, Loretta Williams, Delicia Edwards, and Natalie Ballarmine. Hope it's pronounced properly. All of them died. And no justice for them. Remember how the PPP, they rushed up there and they said there will be one minister per family. One minister per family. It was just for the cameras. Just for the cameras. That's all. Nothing else. Just for the cameras. They do not care about these people, these kids. They cried crocodile tears, right? Ann John and Nancy and Gregory Lewis and Hazel. They in the PPP, Priya Manikchand, and all of them cried crocodile tears. Onesh Walren. Remember, some of them were injured, but because they wanted to stage something for the camera, they rushed to remove those who were injured. They were in a hospital, remove them quickly. So all of them could see, the cameras could see them hugging, pretending that they care, and oh my gosh, oh, they don't care. Onesh Waldron, they don't care. Priya Manikchan, she doesn't care. You think any of them care? And then you heard that they were offering counseling to the families of those 20 young people who were killed. They perished. What happened now? The family had to sue the state. All these things, fake PPP regime, they do not care. Just like they do not care about these 20 school children who lost their lives. You could have saved them, but because of neglect by the ministries under the PPP regime. You think they care about Adriana Young? No. 20 young people died and they don't care. All they wanted was the cameras. That's all the PPP wanted. You snap pictures, they look wrong, Priya pretend as though she's crying, crocodile tears. But those days, 2 years ago, she wasn't crying. She's skinny now. So she's crying. But when she's big like this, she's crying like a ton. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I get carried away. Do forgive me. And so on this anniversary, the second anniversary of these beautiful, beautiful little ones, just imagine no justice, none whatsoever. Just like Adriana Sari Young and her family, they're looking for justice for this little girl. No justice so far. The family crying and fighting for justice, and what they're doing. The biggest obstacle in their way right now is the PPP regime. Just like this, the biggest obstacle is the PPP regime. Shame on those vagabonds in the PPP regime. Shame on them. Remember, what about those? Couple of them flew out of the country, right? Couple of young kids. Couple of them flew out of the country. Our operator brought this to my attention, and let me bring it to yours as well. And the question is, whatever happened to these kids?
Survived a deadly dorm fire in South America 3 months ago, but her road to recovery was very long and far from home. She was flown more than 2,000 miles to Staten Island to be treated for her burns, and today she was released to begin her journey back home. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rinko. Clutching a teddy bear, the burn scars on her hands still visible, Marisa Williams is getting ready to go home. Home is 2,500 miles away in Guyana, where exactly 3 months ago, Marisa suffered severe burns in a deadly fire at her school.
19 children were killed by a fire that raced through a girls' dormitory. Flames broke out at a boarding school in Guyana at around midnight.
Marisa survived and was rushed to a hospital in Guyana's capital city, but when doctors saw the severity of her burns, they knew she had to be transferred to a specialty hospital, like the Regional Burn Center at Northwell Health Staten Island University Hospital.
I'm very proud of these things that happen in collaboration with Guyana and US, and I could see God bless America.
That's Marisa's father, who initially could not get a visa, but immediately sent his daughter to New York for treatment. She came with her mother, who stayed by her side the entire time.
I'm so happy for the doctors, the nurses who was working with her.
That includes Dr. Michael Cooper, the director of the burn unit.
Glad to say that she's almost healed from all of her surgeries. Her last surgery was just a week ago. It's amazing to think that a week ago we were in the operating room and now we're here. So she still has some areas which are healing.
That means physical and occupational therapy, but Marisa can get that back home in South America. The trip home began with a standing ovation as she left Staten Island University Hospital. Marisa was wheeled out of the hospital, but walked the final steps into a waiting car. Still holding that teddy bear, she cracked a...
Still holding a teddy bear, and she cracked a smile. Do you think the government of Guyana cares? Do you think they've ever turned an eye in the direction of that little girl again? All they wanted was lights, cameras, and action. That's all. 2 years now gone. Nothing at all. No memorial, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know why? Because Priya and them do not care. Nothing at all. But they're preparing for Vibes Cartel show. They're preparing to go to Essequibo. That is how they prefer to spend the money. Spend the money to go Essequibo and sing Kya Hua Teda Wada Vokasam Voyara Ole Kadil. And then to hire 1 and 2 individuals except Baby Skello. He definitely ain't going there. No matter how much whatever noticiousness his dad was doing to him there, no matter what, it ain't working. And so they replaced Baby Skello with this guy at Essequibo. Do you really think the government cares? Absolutely not. For almost 1 hour, we have been talking about that. And to show you the evidence that they do not care. Tomorrow's press conference, if you want to call that a press conference, all you're going to be hearing is nonsense. I don't know what has happened to Guyana. Every single time you turn in Guyana to listen to news, I know some of you vex when I say Guyana, but here's a reason why I say Guyana, right? But Guyana. Every single time, every day you turn to Guyana, in Guyana is some problem. Some man with some motorbike just boom, some truck crash, some this, truck drivers protesting, this body, this, every single day. I do not know Guyana to be like that. And so it is obvious that this current PPP, this regime, is a cross on the entire nation. And you know what you do with cross, right? Sorry, you vote them out. Oops, I'm live on video, right? You vote them cross out. Vote them out, mind you. You vote them out indeed, right? Yeah. And so tomorrow, be careful, Thursday's so-called press conference. All you're going to be hearing from beginning to ending for 3-4 hours. And then on top of that, guess who probably gets a box of fried rice and so forth? He's going to take about 2 or 3 because he's going to pay them, and they're going to dress up, and they're going to be the 000, 3 knots and the clump. They will be there because that is what the press conference Thursday is being used. You catch and you deliver and you collect a couple of boxes of food and you say you get 2 more. You get 2 more. That's how it's done, right? Gosh, poor Guyana. Guys, I'm out of here. 1 hour. I told you guys 1 hour. And I'm gone. Gone. Oh, by the way, before I go, there's no investigation into what happened there with some so-called grenade tossed in at East Penitence police outpost. Nothing. It's done. A sports building burnt in East and nothing. Something in adding up. You know what else in adding up? Venezuela are not voting in Essequibo. It ain't adding up. If I had my way, and tonight it's if I had my way, guess what? I would have charged Maduro with treason and expelled out of Guyana Venezuela ambassador and recall that guy Van Charles. Say, come back to Guyana. Venezuela wants to play stupid, then good. We'll deal with you accordingly. But because these Pacus in the PPP are so weak and they're so corrupt, and they're part of this big conspiracy, because all the while Jack Day was sucking up to the Venezuelans, giving thousands upon thousands of Venezuelan nationals ID cards, all manner of things. Now, I have some Venezuelan friends in Guyana. They've been there for years. They're good people. So don't get me wrong. I'm not anti those hardworking people. But some of those Venezuelans that went and suck up under Jack Day and Jack Day suck up to them, guess what? Some of them are military guys. Some of them are spies. And while Jack Day was sucking up to them, guess what? Jack Day got caught with his pants down. And so they are suffering the consequences. Chickens have come home to roost, so to speak. Now, people want to be patriotic. It's good to be patriotic. But you don't have to suck up to a corrupt regime, an unpatriotic regime, to prove that you're patriotic. It makes no sense to hold hands with the corrupt PPP regime now to prove that you're patriotic. And I think the opposition folks are doing the right thing. Ignore the corrupt PPP regime. They are a pack of unpatriotic vagabonds. As we prepare to go, and as you remember those 20 beautiful, beautiful little ones, our heart goes out. Our hearts go out to the families of those 20 little kids who perished in that fire. And fortunately or so, the corrupt PPP regime doesn't care. They do not care about these kids. They do not care about Adriana Young. They do not care about young people in Guyana. Imagine the allegations of a 9-year-old boy beaten in the headmistress' office at St. Margaret's Primary School. You think Priya care? No. You think Irpanali is going to take that little boy to State House to sit and meet with his parents? No. We all know why. Let's not pretend any longer. We all know why. As I leave you tonight until tomorrow, let's all just sing along. There's nothing else to do for now. Let's just sing along. Let's go, guys. Have a good night. As you turn to your neighbors to sing, pray for Guyana as well. That's why we put a little smile on your faces. You've got to pray for the country of our birth. Beautiful Guyana. Not one Guyana, but one people, one nation, with one destiny. Sing along with me, please. Please. Because the PPP wants this to be the national anthem. God bless you all. Sing along.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? Really? And this country got some really stupid people, really.
with the body work truck, body work.